There is one thing that can affect your Disney Park day more than any other, and that is what you decide to take into the park in your park bag. You don't want to be stuck in the park without that must-have item, nor do you want to be giving yourself backache because you've been carrying around everything you own in a 75-litre rucksack. So I'm here to share a couple of tips, a bit of my advice from all the numerous days I have spent in the park and what I take in with me. Stay tuned. Okay, first of all, let me tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to give you a list of bullet point things that you must take in your park bag, definitive, and that's it. What you take in your park bag is entirely up to you, depending what you need. What I am going to do is kind of talk about tips for deciding what those things are and reducing the stress and strain on your body having to carry it. If there's one thing I hate, it is carrying around a really big heavy bag for a full day. And I know you're going to be like, well, Lucy, everybody hates taking heavy bags places, and that is true, but there is something that I personally find so annoying about the nerves in my neck getting pulled and the muscle knots. If you're flinging things from one shoulder to the other and you're taking it off and you're putting it back, and I hate it so much. However, you can't get around it. You need to take things into the park with you. Otherwise, you're going to be left up the magical creek without a paddle, and nobody wants that. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about things I do to avoid carrying bags. If you have a child under the age of, I would say, 6, take a pushchair. Just take a pushchair. I know a lot of people spend time online debating, should I take a pushchair? My child's 3, but they walk a lot to nursery. No. Take a pushchair. They're 5 years old and they're too big for it and the head. Just take a pushchair. I will tell you why. You have got that trough underneath the pushchair. You can put multiple drinks bottles and overalls and picnic blankets and everything you want under there. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to carry it. And I tell you what else, you're allowed to use buggy parking. So you can park your pushchair up, you can leave it while you go on the ride, or you can leave it for an hour. You can leave it for 2 hours if you don't want to push it around. And as long as you're not leaving money, cards, or anything massively valuable like a phone or a camera in there, it's pretty much just going to stay there. I mourn the days since we've been able to get away with that. But unfortunately, Bonnie's 7 now and her legs are longer than mine and it doesn't wash anymore. But trust me, if you can get away with it, do. Don't debate it. Take a pushchair. Now, I know that's not an option for a lot of you childless folks out there, childless Disney fans, and those of you with teenagers. So the other thing I would say, particularly for the ladies, is choose outfits with pockets. There's too many flimsy maxi skirts going around there that don't have pockets in. I love a dress with a pocket and I can put my phone in it so it's there at any moment. I've just invested in a new vlogging camera, which is ultra small. It's only this big, look. Fits in the palm of my hands. I love it. But it will just, some of my deeper pockets in my dress skirts, it'll just slide straight in there. And the other thing is, while we're on that subject, lanyards. So here I have my annual pass for Disneyland Paris. I have my cash card and I have my photo card. And in there, I would just keep a €20 note or $20 note just in case I was ever caught short. And then I just wear it around my neck. So now consider, so far I've got my camera in one pocket, my phone in the other, anything I might need, like if I've got chapped lips at the time, something like a little bit of lip balm goes in the pocket as well. I've got my money, my cards and my tickets around my neck. So I do put a rucksack on my bag, but hopefully I shouldn't need to take it off and rummage around in it too much. That means it can just stay there. Consider that when you're considering your outfits. Now we've got to the meat of the matter. Let's talk about that rucksack, shall we? Yes, Lucy, let's talk about the rucksack. That's why we're here. What's in it? What do you do with it? How big is it? Well, first of all, I do always recommend rucksacks. Crossbody things can pull on your shoulder. If it's a one shoulder bag, you're always swapping it over. It's a bit awkward. I like a bag that I can do on both shoulders, but I don't want it to be massive. So for me, I do like a Loungefly. Now, part of that is I like to Disney bound and dress in themes, more on how to Disney bound your rucksack at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. A good nicely themed Loungefly always works, but I just find it a nice size. It's well made. They've got good strong straps on them that won't rub you. It's not too big, not too small, and gorgeous. It doesn't have to be one of these expensive Loungeflies. It can just as easily be the little Mickey Mouse head Primark equivalent. It's fine. So, what's in it? Right, here's number one that you always must have in your bag, and that is a drinks bottle. Now that's quite large and it takes up a good amount of the bag, but it does fit and it is essential, particularly in the height of summer in Paris or in Florida. You want to be well hydrated, you want to be filling it up regularly. No way of getting around that. So drinks bottle. Number two, and this is the secret sauce right here, this is the trick. I've got this little smaller than A6 zip up purse there. I've shown it before because it's got Polynesian tiki characters on it and it makes me smile. And in it, it's like a mini, just emergency first aid everything kit. So let's go through what I've got in here. I've got Anodins, but only 4 because we're all about reducing the amount of stuff you're carrying around with you. Other paracetamol products are available. Regular plasters and, importantly, blister plasters. Do not go to Disney parks without blister plasters, no matter what you're wearing on your feet. They are a lifesaver. I've got a tiny hand cream because I do like to keep up with that, particularly now we're doing hand sanitizer, I can get a bit dry. And I've got a lip balm, I've got hair ties, I've got hair clips, I've got mini scissors because you just never know when something needs dealing with and tweaking and labels cutting off things. And I've got tweezers because, again, you never know. They're tiny, they're not adding any weight to my backpack. And I've got feminine products, which I won't flash at you. Travel sickness tablets, again, I've cut 2 off, so I've got a tiny amount. And then, just for me, I do suffer from cold sores, and once they start, they're just such a pain in the neck. So if I'm going for a 2-week holiday to Florida, I make sure that I take some cold sore cream with me and I hold it in here because I will be putting that on a lot if I do get one. So it takes up next to no space. It weighs very little, particularly if you're very strict in your editing of what you put in there. You're cutting up your tablets. You're only taking 1 of each size plaster. You're taking your mini things of the essentials, and that will go in and out of any bag I choose to take. It'll go on the flight bag as long as I take the scissors out. It'll go in the park bag, it'll go in shopping bags. That is just my little lifesaver right there. So if you only take 2 things into the park with you, you need your water bottle and you need something the equivalent of these. Everything from now on is kind of extra on top. However, I do recommend you take more than that. Now, here's another thing that does add weight. It's not the lightest thing, but I highly recommend it, and that is a portable charger. We rely a lot on our mobile phones, devices, and cameras, and this baby has got up to 3 full iPhone chargers in it. I take a very small wire. If I'm doing a half day at a park, and I know I am, I might choose not to take this because it does add weight to it and it does add bulk to it. But if you're doing a full park day, you need it and you'll regret not taking it. Right, what else do we have here? 3 basics. I have tissues, they're a must. Smallest pack of wet wipes that I could find, just enough to clean your hands after ice cream. Again, who leaves without those? And, is it in here? Hand sanitizer. I must admit that's a new addition to my park bag. I know some people have been taking it for years and years and years, but 2020 taught me anything, it's that you always need hand sanitizer. Almost everything else that I'm going to show you from here on out is to do with coping with the weather. First up, let's talk hot weather. A must-have is a fan. I take 2 on holiday with me. I've got this portable, this is a rechargeable fan, and if I'm taking a larger park bag, I will put that in. If I am taking a Loungefly or a smaller park bag, I will use one of these battery powered ones. Now there's not a lot of difference in weight. You know, I'm all about how much my bag is going to weigh. Not a lot of difference in weight, it's just size. That one's preferable because it's rechargeable, but we will take extra batteries for that one. Of course, you need to top up your sunscreen through the day, so we get the smallest bottle possible into the bag. Reduce. And then we're on to the ever troublesome issue of what to do when it rains. I cannot stress enough in this video how many times I've repeated, take less. The less I have in my park bag, the better. So I will definitely check the weather forecast, and if it doesn't say rain, I won't take rainy things with us, because I just would rather not carry them around. This is a child's poncho for Bonnie. I've squished it and squashed it as small as it will possibly go. It still adds weight. Mine is bigger, but to show you how I keep it that small and how I keep it compact and stop it unraveling in my bag, I like to use a sock. Just a spare sock. We'll go straight over it like that, and you can sort of squeeze and rotate like that, which just makes it smaller and tighter, because they're quite massive, you know, if they start to unroll and you've got them folded in squares. Mine is bigger than that already in its sock. So that one's Bonnie's and that one's mine, and between them that is a good bulk of space in your rucksack, which, like I say, is why I try to not take them, but they're an absolute must if you're in Florida rainstorms. I do have an umbrella I take with me, but not for rainy days. That's what I take. It's UV protective, and I take it for very, very sunny days, because that extra bit of shade can really make all the difference. And that's quite compact. It's only about that big. It actually takes up less room than the ponchos, but I would make a decision in the morning whether I'm taking the umbrella or the ponchos. I wouldn't take both. Now, of course, if you go into Paris in particular, it is not always warm. Sometimes it is absolutely freezing if you go in at Christmas. So I would take those little sort of crush them and they warm up hand warmers. They're just like little hand warming packs. You get them in supermarkets. You open the plastic and they warm up. We always have one in each pocket, and I've been known to put them inside my boots as well when it gets really, really cold. So that for me are the essentials. There are extras that you can take, and we do take. We like to take straws. I have a little pack. They are Disney straws with a cleaning brush in, and also I will roll up a Ziploc bag and put it in there as well, because Ziploc bags are just really useful. They don't take up any extra space or weight. I take a pen and notebook for several reasons. First of all, just to keep ourselves entertained in restaurants. When I've got a 7-year-old, I don't want to be dragging around loads of toys and colouring books and things. A simple pad and paper will do, because we can play hangman. But I prep it before I go. I like to prep one that's got all our reservation numbers in the front, all our timetables and reservations somewhere in there. And also, the other thing I do with a notebook is I do a list in the back, reminding me what should be in my park bag, and the reason I do that is because I insist that you prepare your park bag the night before. Now it takes a bit of motivation and commitment, does this, because when you come back from a 12-hour park day and you're exhausted and you're full to the brim with ohana noodles or whatever you've just eaten, you just want to lay down and stare into space like that. You need to get yourself off your hotel bed and prepare the bag for tomorrow, because then you can truly just go to bed and relax. And I like to have my clothes prepared as well and just get dressed and go, without having to start panicking and running around in the morning, drying out things and looking for other things. So I have a little checklist, and if I move things from one bag to the other, I just go, yep. So I suppose that would be one of my top tips. Prep your park bag the night before. Now, I've mentioned several times that I really love to Disney bound, and I'm a bit of a completist. I'm not going to do a Disney bound and have the wrong colour shoes on. It's just not me. So the park bag is a difficult thing. Bags are quite big things to be taking on trips with you. So I do have particular bags that I like to use for particular Disney bounds. This one springs to mind. You can't Pinocchio unless you're going to Pinocchio. But that's a big thing to decide to take in my rucksack, so I can only really take one thing of that size and quality. So the other days I have a bit of a cheat, and this is it. It is a very, very cheap, off Amazon, no name brand rucksack but it has got these transparent pockets in the front, one here and then one up top. And what I do is I print out something just the right size and I mount it onto a bit of card. For example, when I do my Simba Disney Bound, it will be an African savannah. And when I do my Star Wars Disney Bound, it'll be an R2-D2. And I put them into these pockets so that I am customizing my rucksack for every new Disney Bound. You can also hang key rings from those hooks up there and it keeps it nice and safe, or you can fill it with pins. So when I do my Minnie Mouse Disney Bound, I'll probably just put loads of Minnie Mouse pins in instead. And because it's plastic, it will keep them safe and there's no risk of them falling off. So this is a little bigger and roomier than your typical Loungefly in size. That is when I would go about having a slightly bigger fan, relaxing myself a bit with the size of the water bottle, that kind of thing. But regardless of the size of the rucksack, it's the weight you want to bring down. Make it as light as possible. Now I packed this earlier today and I put it on my bathroom scales, and this is probably one of the heaviest actual bags I've got because it's leather and there's a lot of leather involved in it and zips and linings and things. And it came without water in the water bottle to 2.1 kilograms. So add to that 500 millilitres of water and that is about my limit. I don't want to be carrying anything heavier than that. And one of the ways we keep the weight down is for a family of 3, rather than having one massive park bag, which I know a lot of families prefer to do, and then take it in turns carrying it, or just the strongest member of the family carry it all day. We actually have 2 or even 3, now Bonnie's a bit older, smaller park bags, and then we're all responsible for our own park bag. Right, that was everything for today. I hope you all found it useful. Like I say, I didn't want to do a list of things that you should have in your park bag. There are things that you add to that, but really it's this idea of reducing the weight, reducing the size, taking things out of your park bag and putting it in pushchairs, pockets, lanyards, bum bags, so that you've got as little as possible in that bag. And I long for the day that I can go to a park with just a lanyard and nothing else. But that is not this day. So all the best and thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you check out our podcast, The Disneyland Paris Show. All the links for everything below, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz. And if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe because it really gives our channel a bit of a boost. And also you'll be notified when I upload any more of my Disney Park tip videos. So thank you very much for joining us. Bye-bye.